Hello and welcome back to the podcast, bros. As always, it's me, Avizra Sumargi, joining me today.
Hi, I'm Gaurav Kanal.
And it's me, Ashwal Is Back. It's good to be back finally. It's been some time.
Yeah,
man, long time.
On the year anniversary in terms of month, because apparently we started Podcast Bros on 2022 September 7th.
Yes.
Right?
It's been a year.
Yeah, so
It's been a year, man.
Kind of up and down, sometimes very consistent, sometimes we missed some. But for the year's program, of course we all had to be there, right?
I mean-
so that's why the team is whole. And where were you?
Team is
Ashwal?
whole.
Yeah. yes, the team is whole. Not the whole that you're thinking about, but yes, whole. But yeah, so where have you been, Ashwal?
Out and away. I've been
Yeah.
in Hetoda, hometown. I've been away for some time, doing multiple things. Alright. Yeah, let's just not get into it that much. But then, it's been fun. I've learned some things.
Did you try something new?
Yeah, fishing.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Like, may be surprising for you all, but then
Yeah,
fishing,
yeah.
one of them. I went fishing with my.
I mean, I'm not very surprised when he's saying he's like fishing because he was fishing for something in Kathmandu. Now in Hetoda, he's fishing for
Do you
fish.
mean catfish?
That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
But I tried fishing and I did not succeed in my first try because I will blame the location.
Okay.
I had the skills and the equipments required, but the location was not.
So then that the idiom, or what do we call it, the phrasing, plenty of fish in the
Oh.
sea. What do you think?
A very false statement. False statement. Yeah.
So
Depends
there
on
you
the
go.
sea as well.
People, we have debunked that theory, but go on.
No, but then I look forward to trying it again because it was
Okay,
a good
yeah.
experience, and then hopefully
Maybe
we
we
get
should
to
all
do it
do
one
it.
day.
Yeah, we should do it.
yeah.
I have fished before, so.
Yeah.
I've been told by a lot of people that I'm patient and good listener and all that.
So
Maybe
is this the reason for you to, give me qualities here?
All right. Okay, so then let's get into the topic then. Yeah, I think this was, the third video that we did. And then again, this year around, this is the same topic that we're covering. The iPhone event, the Apple event.
Apple event.
Of course, yes, the Apple event. And some few new products were launched, of course, in the vein of watches and phones. And we're going to go through each one of them and give them some Nepali context as well. And also talk about whether we like them, whether we'd purchase them, and whether we'd recommend them to people or not. So let's go from the very top, then Ashwal, lead us in.
Yeah, so let's kick it off how they kicked it off. Let's kick it off with the watches, right? There were two watches that were released, right? The Apple Watch Series 9 and then the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So the Apple Watch Series 9. Now this one, it's now obviously the previous one was Series 8, right?
Yeah.
And
And then the next one's going to be Series 10 then?
Series 10, right?
okay.
Where is this ending?
The numbering. Yeah.
But go on.
So, yeah.
So the Series 9, like every year they have upgraded the chip, right?
Yeah.
With it was the S8 chip, now it is the S9 chip, which they claim to be 60% faster and 30% faster.
Apple
GPU.
and percentages, huh? Some sort of weird fetish that goes on there every
Yeah.
year.
And again,
oh my God.
they end with the quote, most powerful watch chip yet,
yeah.
right?
Ever, like
So
every year. That word.
Nothing surprising here. They do this every year.
Yeah.
So the new features, and this one got me interested actually, the double tap feature. Though it's not actually new, I did not know that before. Though it's not new, it was there in the previous two iPhones,
Phones, yeah.
the watches, right?
Oh, is it?
You had to go through the accessibility setting to go make that work.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't aware of that.
So, but then this time they've made it actually primary and they've publicized it, so that.
So what's the double tap feature, if you can show it on
So
the
the double
camera
tap feature is basically you have your watch on in your hand and then you tap your index and your thumb twice so that you could control the watch, right? If your hand, if your hands are busy, right? So you can control your watch and you can pick up phones or you can cut them or multiple things with it.
Yeah.
They've shown that in the
Scroll
Apple
through
event.
notifications and all that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a very good feature, I would say.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you don't want to just, use your other hand to access your watch. You just-
Yeah,
Now you can just tap.
multiple things,
Yeah.
And then the other thing I would like to talk about is they are bringing this feature into the public because they also have this another product
Yeah.
using the same feature, right? We're talking about the Apple Vision Pro.
Vision Pro. Yeah.
So they, to select the selecting mechanism of the Vision Pro is also the double tap feature.
Yeah. I think they're trying to incorporate us, condition us into that like ecosystem of Apple.
Yeah.
So that's why the double tap feature
Yeah.
like just across the board. I wonder how they'll incorporate it on the laptop. Maybe twist with the fingers. Or
No,
something?
maybe like wink.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but then they easily could. Now this is
Apple with some weird thought process of
Technology, man. You never know where is that going.
But actually thinking about that, it is a far-reaching idea. But then now they've got the LiDAR scanners and everything, right, working very nicely. So where the camera is, right, where the front camera is of the laptop, they could easily put a LiDAR scanner there, and which would access us to use it like that. But then it's a far-reaching idea. We don't know.
I don't know how comfortable I would be with that though, man. Like because then it's like they can retina scan and stuff like that. Like it would have so many other implications,
In terms of privacy.
Yeah, in terms of privacy.
Is there thumb scan in MacBooks? No.
Yeah.
You got the fingerprint.
The fingerprint, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that was the double tap was the most interesting feature, and they showcased that in a big scale. So the other one is name drop. So name drop was basically introduced last year, previous year on the iPhone 14s, right? And basically what it does is that when you go near to another Apple Watch or another iPhone, right, you get to share your contact. You get to share it without talking, or
so much easier.
It's become easier, right? You just go near a device, right, and then it instantly pops up. Would you like to add this person to the contact list? So that is interesting thing that has come up to the Apple Watch. And double brightness. Now they were bragging about this a lot. 2000 nits. That is pretty
Quite bright, yeah.
That is pretty bright.
For a watch to have 2000 nits, it must be really powerful then. Then what's the battery life like then?
The battery life is 18 hours of battery on normal use, and up to 36 with low power mode.
Okay. So maybe what they do is that depending on the brightness of the area or something, like the screen will auto adjust.
Yeah, that is.
Because if you use your watch for 2000 nits throughout, then I don't think it can last.
I don't think.
I don't think it does.
18
It
hours.
I think
doesn't
like
give
when
18
it's not
hours,
in the motion or something, I think it will just like switch off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like shut down.
Yeah.
Not switch off, but
Yeah.
Take a rest.
So
Rest
the
mode,
brightness,
rest mode,
yeah, pretty impressive, right? That is bright compared to the screen, the small screen. And the other one is they've added this thing called second generation Ultra Wideband chip. So it helps with if you lose your watch or your iPhone. So it has better connectivity, and it connects to the larger scale.
I forget the term they used. Precision something, no?
Precision finding iPhone.
Yeah. So in this one, so basically before, what they used to do was you just used to hear beeps, and then you would have to kind of orient yourself according to the beep, right? And then maybe you could be so if it's a floor up or something like that, and you could be there and you could hear the beep, but still it would be okay, but where
you
is
have to
it?
find out like Batman.
Right? Yeah, but then
Like bats.
but yeah, so in this one I think it gives you direction as well, so whether it's left, right, it's in a circle.
Oh,
and then
okay. So it gives you direction as well, like left.
direction in terms of its generalized direction, but at least it's better than just listening
It
to
also
the,
actually
very-
shows how farther away you are, like
Yeah.
20 feet, 18 feet, 16.
So, no, I mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking because if it gives direction as well, so it's very good feature for blinds, because then they can navigate the phone by the direction.
And, and then I think haptic feedback is also
Yeah,
there, no?
oh, yeah,
So
that-
so that with the direction, I think that can really help disabled people in multiple different ways.
So the haptic. So basically, it's more precise.
Yeah.
It's more precise. And another thing that they were bragging about a lot, being very environmental and all that.
Yeah.
And this Apple Watch Series 9 being the first carbon neutral product.
Woo!
I think that is a win for Apple. But
But to be fair, I don't care about it. That was a sarcastic chair, but go on.
yeah, I think it is a win for Apple in terms of their goal, of being completely carbon neutral by 2030.
No, I have a reasoning for it, by the way. We'll get to that reason why I barely care about them bragging about this carbon neutrality.
I wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
Later
So
on.
I'll get into why I was that was sarcastic, but yeah, keep going on. Sorry.
So this Series 9 is completely aluminum case, or it's also got stainless steel. Stainless steel is basically pretty heavy, and it's also more expensive than the basic aluminum case, right? And this one is 50-meter water resistant. So you go
pretty much the
50
same
meter
from
of that.
previous generations,
Pretty much the same from the last two generations of Apple Watches. So the battery we've already talked about is 18 hours and 36 on the low power mode. Let's talk about the cost, right? So it's starting with $399 the one with the GPS only, right? $399, which is 52,900 converted into Nepali currency.
Okay.
But the one with the cellular, it's $499 and 66,100 Nepali currency.
I can get like a phone for that.
You could.
Yeah.
Good, very much.
Oh well. But then so also, so if it's an aluminium body, then the costing might vary. Right? And then if it's a stainless steel body, then like that cost might even go up.
It is. The price that we're talking about is aluminum case.
Yeah.
So now the stainless steel I checked was $799.
Yeah.
$799.
Wow.
So yeah, you could get.
Oh, $799.
Yeah, and you can easily customize it. You know, they've partnered with like Hermes and Nike bands and all that. So like you could customize it, and it can get even higher.
The price increases.
Wow. Okay.
Starts from cheaper range, but then when you actually buy it, it's like nearly double the price. They say.
So interesting. This one I found interesting. I will get into it later. But then it's also got that crash detection system. So that all that SOS emergency SOS signaling and all that.
I think crash detection system was not there in Series 8. Right?
Series 8, yes.
Yeah, but
it was there in the
Ultra one.
So that's it. That is it for the S9. Couple of interesting features and all that. Now,
would you guys buy it? Consider it? Recommend it?
Nah, I don't think for 66,000 rupees. I wouldn't.
That's for the base one, bro.
Yeah, I mean obviously.
Pay some cash. Got 1 lakh at least.
For 1 lakh, I could get like very nice. I don't know, like a Rado or something. That will not be older the next year.
Oh, so you weren't using an abusive Nepali word there. Okay.
Rado, I was talking about a brand.
Let's go. But yeah, so what do you think? Would you recommend it?
I mean, recommendations, it depends, because I like this one. I like this one because I've been wanting to. I don't have a reason to like it because like it just got a couple of features, nothing new. But then I want this one because like I've been wanting Apple Watch for now.
The one,
the S9, because Ultra, it's too much for me. I'm not that adventurous, right? To have
fishing.
Ultra.
I thought you were adventurous.
Maybe the boat tips over, you fall.
That is a valid point, but I wouldn't so much to say recommend this one, but then I think I'm interested in this one. So let's see. It depends. Yeah.
Okay.
So you recommend? Yes, no?
I mean, my recommendation would be based on the person's, like what features they are interested in, but I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think I'd recommend.
I wouldn't.
I mean, of course, there will be a bunch of people. So we are in this context. We are talking about specifically either like the minimum wage people or a little bit higher wage than that, right? So for those people, I wouldn't like recommend this because this is like equivalent to you could get so much more by utilizing that money in other fields than So that's why I don't think I would recommend it. And there are alternative good Android options as well, which are much cheaper. So like if you are really interested in a smartwatch, I think.
Or actually you could just go and buy the Series 7 or Series 8 for that.
Exactly.
For that fact.
Much lower.
Not
price.
much difference.
Right, Okay. So what's the next product on the agenda, Ashwal?
Apple Watch Ultra 2. So now this is the second generation of the Ultra Watch, the very surprising addition they had previous year, right? A very rigid and very adventurous watch.
For the hardcores.
Yes, for the hardcores.
Yeah.
For David Goggins type of people. So now let's kick it off with the brightness. It's got 3000 brightness in a watch.
3000 nits, right?
3000 nits.
Wait. I have a question. I don't remember this. If you guys remember, put it in the comments. 3000 nits. I think this was in Ultra 1 as well.
Was it?
Nah, I don't remember as well.
I don't know. Maybe 2000 or 3000. But even then, they were bragging about specifically Ultra. That it was so bright that even when you are lost in nature or something. So I forget.
It must have been. Must have been. Okay. So 3000 nits, still impressive. And
by the way, I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but 3000 nits, these are like brightnesses of TVs.
Okay, so no, okay, just sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off, but the last one, Ultra, had 2000 nits.
2000. Okay. So 3000 nits is like brightness of TVs, you know, or like screens on laptops, right? So like it's bright. So yeah.
Yeah, even the iPhone 15, the base model iPhone 15 does not have 3000 nits.
So you guys can see like this is insane in terms of like development of a product.
So I mean, I think that would be very helpful for Nepalese people, because then there's like electricity going so much that you can just switch on your full brightness mode on and look around.
Yeah. Just with the watch, going around.
Like Power Ranger.
I think it could significantly, I think it could be
Yeah.
significant in that, yeah.
Looking for potholes. Huh?
So, titanium case.
Yeah.
This one comes in titanium case. Now, this one, titanium, they were bragging about it all. They were like, the new iPhones have the titanium case. Now, this one is going to be a little lighter and more durable. According to Apple, that's what they've said. Titanium will enable.
So what's the chemical composition difference between aluminium, stainless steel, and titanium?
Yeah, that was the question. That was for you.
Anyone please open floor?
So one has nitrogen and oxygen. I don't know.
Oh my god. Well, okay, go on.
Yeah, 100 meter of water resistance in
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I think it was the same in the Ultra first generation.
100
as well.
meter? Okay.
100 meters, yeah. So that's that.
Good for
So
divers,
it
yeah.
could be used for divers as well.
So even Aquaman
Even
can utilize the iPhone. The Ultra.
Getting calls from Batman.
iPhone every time.
Yeah, getting.
It's just stuck, man. It's just stuck in my head. It's the iPhone event, But go on.
The battery life up to 36 hours of battery on normal mode, and 72 in low power mode. 72, that is the impressive one.
Yeah.
Now again, it differs, right? I think if you use it on maximum brightness, I don't think it lives up to that. But still, 72 hours in low power mode, that would come in handy. And again, with the Ultra Wideband chip, again enabling you to find your gadgets in a better way.
Thinking about it, like the precision finding
Finding,
iPhones and all that, it must be pretty easy for the government to track you if they want to, then, right? Like
What do you mean?
because it's so precise that like you're connected to the GPS, and you're like if they wanted to, they could track where not just you are, but your phone, your laptops, like anything and everything,
Yeah. Same with even with like phones and everything. I think the location is on like most of the time.
It's kind of crazy. I just recently bumped into this new topic of Pegasus 2, right? Apparently, this was developed in the Israel, and they, even when your phone is switched off, apparently can transfer data if it's in charging,
Okay.
right? And maybe you would cover it someday or something like that. But then imagine if a hacker gets control of that and then like targets your phone or something, like they could probably.
This is one emerging issue, right?
Yeah.
Like of the cyber immersive world that we're heading into.
Yeah.
Where's privacy come into these days?
I think eventually we will have to. Privacy would be like a luxury commodity. Where
You have to purchase.
So you have
so
to purchase privacy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, you can go to a remote island where they're like for a vacation or something, and then that would be priced so much more than a simple resort.
This is a science fiction movie you're talking about.
But let's go.
So again, nothing. I wouldn't say nothing new, but then it's got some specific features I wouldn't want to get into. With all it, obviously, it's for the hardcore people, right? You got some better measurement of your heartbeats and all that. You got those things in there.
Don't get all into it, all at once, Ashwal.
All right. So the price again, stunning, $799.
What was that, please?
That rounds up to about 5,955.
Damn. I mean, this watch wouldn't be for a common.
So basically,
earning.
1,05,000, 6,000.
I'd get a Botox surgery for that.
Yeah, you could.
Okay, now the thing is, okay, so the price of this watch is how much? 1 lakh and
1,06,000.
6,000. Wow. I
Rounded
mean,
up,
That's insane.
Insane.
And I don't know. By the way, I've seen people where iPhone. God damn it with the iPhones. The Apple Ultra 1 in Nepal. And even like when last year, I think the pricing was same, 799.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know what I mean? There are
that's
people
a very
out there.
niche. Yeah, that's a niche
there
market,
are people
right?
out there
I
that
mean,
will buy it.
see, I was doing some research, right?
Yeah.
Average income, yearly income is 2,16,000 for
Oh my
for
days.
like common people. So how can they afford like 50% of that money just for a watch?
Yeah.
That gets older every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God forbid you drop it and then gone all the money.
Oh yeah, right. We didn't even think
Yeah.
about that because repair and everything. Then that comes with it. Oh, it's basically like you're wearing some like internal organ on your hand.
Yeah. No wonder there's joke, whenever Apple releases any product,
Yeah.
like sell your kidney and we'll buy it and all these things.
By the way, are you willing? I have a buyer.
I did see this somewhere though. What if God,
Yeah.
gave us 2 kidneys as a startup capital?
That is one.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Probably put it in a fixed deposit tomorrow. Me.
What's the kidney
Price?
market price? Like,
Oh, I've got a buyer. Stand by if you guys want.
So, all right. I would also like to mention that the base model iPhone 15 also comes for $799. So the Ultra 2 also comes for $799.
So you've got a decision to make, people. Choose
Phone.
wisely, live well.
yeah.
Yes.
Smart decisions.
So now talking about the base model iPhone 15.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the next product on the agenda.
Yes. And now what they do every year is the last year's top of the line models, right? Like iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. The insides of the insides of those phones, they just transfer it to the baseline models of the new phones. So like iPhone 15 has everything that iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max had. So
What about the camera? 3 cameras as well?
yeah, 3 cameras.
Three
No,
cameras?
they don't have 3 cameras, but then it's bumped into the 48 megapixel.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's also got the A16 Bionic chip, which was there in the iPhone 14 Pro.
By the way,
and Pro
this
Maxes.
is the first time that Apple has tinkered with the camera from moving it up from 12 megapixels to
Yeah.
like now 48.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about it last year as well, that it's just been a weird trend in terms of Apple never upgrading their like 12 megapixel camera, right? And Android went to like, you can see, have you guys seen that meme of like, they are zooming into the moon with the iPhone and then they're like, it's so clear, and then they go to the Android and they show someone driving on the moon.
Yeah.
So basically the Android has that level of like telephoto, I forget the exact term, but telephotoic lens or something like that can zoom up to like 100 plus megapixels,
Oh, wow.
So this is like, it's a big step for Apple. I think they're also pushing into the creative markets of like recording videos and shooting like photos and all that with their phones. So I think that is also the whole
that is what they
point.
were, showcasing. Like, with our cameras, we can tap into the professional market.
Yeah.
I feel
what was
like
the singer? She recorded the
Olivia.
Olivia Rodrigo, no?
yeah.
So she recorded one of her whole song just with an iPhone.
I feel like nowadays, these like big brands like Apple and Samsung and all these like people, this company, they are like more like competing, not in terms of technology, but competing in terms of like camera quality and like video recording. I feel like because every year like they're giving more focus on cameras and everything. Because nowadays like we just there's like TikTok and all these things are making that necessary, So yeah.
48 megapixel, a big bump. So the baseline also has a 48 megapixel. 2 cameras. One is for the main 48 megapixel camera. The other one is the ultra wide. Right. And it's also got an auto portrait mode. So
that's
for the
nice.
photo
Fanatics.
freaks over there or
Yeah.
fanatics over there, you can automatically switch to an auto portrait mode, or you can click a normal photo, and if that photo is,
if you want to turn it to a portrait, then after the fact you can still edit
you
it,
can
right?
still turn it.
So what else is there?
This one comes with aluminum with glass back. So this one is not of titanium. So this base model, they had to keep a difference, right? They had to keep a level of difference. So they have done so, right? And dynamic island in this one as well, because the last year baseline models did not have dynamic island. They had the old notch, but then this one has a dynamic island, and dynamic island also has got few upgrades. So now you can get the directions. You can have the directions with the dynamic island. Also, you can get the live game updates and play music as well. So it's
I have a problem with the dynamic island My problem is, so generally on the go, right? Like, okay, so if I'm in my room or something, I'll use a laptop or a TV to watch YouTube. But if I'm on the go and if I'm using a social media platform or something like that, then the dynamic island, because it's not even in the bezel, right? It's disconnected from the bezel. So that means it takes a huge chunk of the screen, you know? And then if I'm watching YouTube or some videos, like it really bothers me. It really annoys the living shit out of me. That like, what's the, like, how are you justifying this? How are other people? It takes up real estate, man. Like it's 6.7 inches of screen if you are going for the Pro Max, right? And if it's a smaller phone like 15, which is 6.1 inch, right? So that means a huge chunk of your screen is just being wasted, you know. And then I do understand that that's the reason why they're trying to sell it to the people. That's why they made it more interactive and all that. But still, man, it really, like, I remember when Samsung had they tried to remove all the bezel, but they had a camera incorporated. They went for the top right corner of the screen, right?
Yeah.
And it would be bothersome, but they also did the fun thing that they played with was they introduced wallpaper that made it look like eyes or something, you know, for the character or something like that. So at least they try to hide it some, but even if Apple tries to hide this, like, there's no way to hide it, you know. It's so huge. So I genuinely have
concerning that, whenever they display dynamic island, it's always in dark mode.
Yeah.
So I wonder what it looks like on like bright or light mode. Yeah, right. Like, because then you would actually see a black.
It's always noticeable then.
It's always noticeable. So yeah, that has its controversies. Dynamic island does have that. And the biggest and most surprising update on the gadget is USB-C port. So they have now, iPhone is finally getting rid of, Apple is actually on all platforms is finally getting rid of the Lightning port. So now it's USB-C and sort of making it the universal charging port.
For the time being.
For the time being,
Saying that way.
Next year they'll change it again.
Okay, so I might look like a grumpy old grandfather here sitting and complaining about everything that's popping up. But this was the reason why I, like, when Ashwal was talking about them being carbon neutral and all, I was super annoyed. Because the thing is, okay, fine, right? Like carbon neutral in terms of your whole product can be replaced and then like everything will be recycled and be used in the new products that Apple will launch. Understandable. But the charger, right? I don't think they took that into the account. And then, so initially when we had the old MacBooks, right? They had a block charger and then they went to a different charger and then slim block chargers and then they went to the USB-C, right? And then till then, that was the only product that was using USB-C. Then we went to the other product, like the phones or the AirPods and all that. They still had the lightning charger. And now they're taking that away from the phone. But the iPods and the watches still get charged by the lightning chargers, right? So where's the USB-C there? Like, why not turn everything into it? Basically what they're doing is, and remember this as well, right? When we used to first buy iPhones or like even the laptops, chargers would come with it. Now you don't get the phones with the charger. So that means basically what they're doing is that like they're making you buy chargers. Like before it was a included benefit. Now they're making you buy chargers. And then you know what they'll do now? So eventually they'll introduce USB-C charging in your AirPods and that as well, right? The watches. And then the new USB will come out, which would be USB-D or whatever they're going to name it, Super USB or whatever. And then that is going to be the standard again. And then now you have to change the charger again. But then they won't change it for the lower end product, right? So constantly playing this cat and mouse game and talking about carbon neutrality and this, that and all, but you're polluting so much as well, you know? And what if like now tomorrow you feel like you want to change the block that you charge with? I mean, this is so all this carbon neutrality and all this, like, kudos, man, like, good job. You know, not all the companies in the world do that.
Okay.
But
so to get into that, in 2022, Apple earned around $41.24 billion just selling accessories. So that includes chargers and everything.
Right. So
it has been every year. Last year it was 38 billion. Now it's 41. So every year it's increasing.
Right.
So that's their profit margin as well. That's the trick they use.
Obviously, there is this profit maximization motive as well. But the reason, obviously, they've got to state a reason for that, right? The reason that they've stated for this conversion of this port is that they've stated that USB-C allows faster charging.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is what they've stated, because for years now iPhone has had slow charging complaints, right? And now this is the reason that they've stated. So if we change into this, obviously you've got the motives on the other hand, but then what they've showed to the public is that
you know what
you get
I
fast charging.
Skim from this conversation? You do not become a $1 trillion technological company without doing this kind of like shenanigans.
Shady brains.
Because other technological companies are not there in the $1 trillion bracket, and Apple is. So there is a reason, right? Like they're maximizing their profit somehow. So yeah, stay woke, people. By the way, they're fleecing you blind.
So okay, another thing that I take from here is if you don't care about being the latest trendy person, wait 1 year before you buy the old phone. Like like you said, Apple 15 has all the things that Apple 14 like
had.
the Pro version had. So why wait 1 year and then get all the things?
And the price will come down as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And these phones and laptops, they last you like 4 to 5 years.
Easily like 5-8 years, I think I would say.
So
that is why I recommended the people to buy the S8 and S7 watches. It's the same thing, somewhat. So yes, USB-C and all that, and 2000 nits of brightness. So that is still pretty bright for the. If you just don't regard the watches, ultras and all for now, it is still pretty bright. And now this iPhone 15 starts at $799 for 128 GB, which converts into again 1,06,000 roughly in Nepali price. So that's just 128 GB, mind you, because that is not what most people want to go for, right? And just talking about iPhone Plus. Now let's get the whole thing away and then. So iPhone Plus also has got basically it's 6.7 inches, the bigger version of iPhone 15, right? It's got the same features, same brightness, same. And all-day battery life. They claim to have all-day battery life. And the cameras upgraded as well, 48 megapixels. Basically the same thing, A16 Bionic chip. And it starts at $899 for 128 GB. So just $100 of difference for 0.6 inches bigger. So it's your decision to make, which rounds up to 1,19,000.
Right. Okay.
So what about the iPhone 15 and 15 Pluses? Or should we talk about this after the Pro and Pro Max?
Let's talk everything.
Let's talk
with the phones, and then we can.
Let's just finish this all off.
Yeah. So iPhone 15 Pro. Now this is what they. Now this is the biggest gadget of the year, I think. Because Pro Max, I don't think many people buy Pro Maxes. Even I like the Pro models because of the size.
Yeah, I don't buy Max because it's too big.
Exactly. Yeah, that is.
By the way, I'm gonna. Okay. My question is, what do you prefer, right? Like 6.1 or 6.7?
6.1.
6.1.
6.1.
Yeah.
6.7 on me, man.
Yeah. I know you.
If you wanna
6.7,
get iPad instead if you want to.
It's not that insane. No, but there was a phase, right, when I was using a 6.1 phone as well, and it was the OnePlus. I forget which model it was, but it was 6.1 as well. And then I was very tentative on getting the 6.7 sized phones, but once I got into it, 2 or 3 weeks was the maximum time it took me to get accustomed to it, and after that, like I barely even noticed that like I had a 6.7.
No, but one thing I feel like when I put in my pocket, I feel like it's gonna be like too big.
Yeah, that is one of my concerns. But then I have
don't know how it sounds.
my personal concern is that my like hands like just it's accustomed for 6.1. I'm not used to the 6.7, right? And there was nothing.
Oh my
I
God!
don't know what these people
I mean, children.
are
Like, that's
laughing
what I'm saying. We are children here. Okay?
Yeah. So
Can't keep a straight face. Oh
so
my
6.1 all the way.
The day you stop being a children is the day you die.
Oh my God!
Not literally, but
Figuratively.
figuratively. Yeah.
But okay, let's go on.
But I think statistically, I think the Pro model sells more. I don't know. I don't know it for a fact, but then I think Pro model sells more.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I think so as well.
also take into account that sometimes for people, they do not think about it this deeply, right? And then for them, the easiest model of calculation is that the higher the price, the better the product.
That's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of like logical thinking as well sometimes.
So
I mean,
that's why the Pro models,
yeah.
I think, do more better.
I think the Pro model and the Max one, I think they have the same features and everything. It's just a size difference, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. So you also have a little bit of a feature change, but then let's get into that.
Okay.
iPhone 15 Pro, and I would like to start by saying the most pro iPhone Apple has ever created.
The Pro is Pro, huh?
The Pro is Pro, yes.
Proest Pro.
And now this iPhone comes with the titanium with matte glass back. Right, now this one is with titanium, and this is the new introduction to the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. So I think which supposedly makes the iPhone lighter and durable.
Okay.
So, and now the new, this the feature change that everyone is talking about, the action button. So before you had this satisfying ringer button.
Yeah, yep.
Indeed, the haptics and the up and down of this button is really, really nice.
I'm just laughing today a lot.
Yeah, so
Go on.
this was in a way it was satisfying and I liked it. But now they've removed it and they've just added a simple button here.
Yeah.
And it's got the haptics and all that, but basically you can customize your action button to do basically whatever you want.
So, what are some of the actions that you can do with the action button, Ashwal?
Yeah, so you can basically open any app or you can customize it to do anything for you.
Okay.
So you can go to the shortcuts and then you can customize it to open this app in this many taps, right? So this is the action button basically.
Yeah. And what else is there?
And so yeah, that is the action button. You can obviously put the ringer on silent and
Too much action.
Oh my god. Alright, let's go.
what the
Always on display?
yeah,
Yeah.
that is it.
So always on display also, this is a change from last year, right? So last year there was a massive pushback on the always on display that it was not less bright. Like it was, you can basically, it was a dimmed version of your lock screen, right? But then you could still see the whole lock screen, right? So that was the main thing that was really people were going crazy about. But this year around, they took some, inspiration from Android, and then you can see the clock if you want to put it on display, always on display, right? But if you don't want that as well, then you can go to full
So
darkness.
is it only the clock or can you see the
it
customized
depends on-
notifications?
Yeah, so there are some customizable things that you can have always on display if you want. If you don't want, you can just switch it off and then like the whole screen can be black, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think with this always on display, they're also trying to, with just talking about the accessories sale, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to sell the stand.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
that is what they were displaying when they were, showing always on display, a magnetic stand. Clever. Apple.
I mean, Apple is full on profit making business, right?
Yes.
So I mean, they just want to get money anyway.
So like every year, now this chip also gets an upgrade. Now this iPhone has A17 Pro chip. And this is the first chip that they are giving the name Pro.
Yeah.
So that is why the most Pro iPhone they've ever created.
Proest.
Yes.
Proest Pro.
So that is and whatever the things that come with the new chip is obviously being faster, more durable and more consistent with the features. And now 48 megapixel main camera with ultra wide and telephoto. Now it's got 3 cameras, right? So one is for the main
Ultra
48
zoom in,
megapixel, one is for ultra wide and one is for telephoto. Telephoto is basically you get to zoom in and still have a very good looking photo. That is the basic underlining meaning of it. So it's got into 3 zoom. But then Android is way ahead of this.
Yeah.
No,
It's got like
into
into
I thought
the other thing
into
is
5.
the into 3 is also there in the
Into 5, I think.
into 5 is for the Pro Max.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so into 3 is there in the previous versions as well. Like
Yeah.
even my phone has a into 3.
Yeah,
So,
so
that
it's,
means
it just has the telephoto with the into 3.
yeah.
Okay.
And again, the USB-C in this one as well. We've already talked about that. And now this iPhone 15 Pro starts at $999 for 128 GB. And which rounds up to about 1,32,000 Nepali
The
currency.
prices just
Wow.
keep going up.
Yes.
At this prices you can get TVs.
Yes.
So I'm going to work 1 year just to get another iPhone.
See you soon, Gaurav. Alright, so what's the next product on the agenda?
So now this is the final product. This is the highest specs, highest price, and highest top end of this year's iPhone, an iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it's basically the same thing. Obviously, the 6.7. It's bigger than the iPhone 15 Pro, and it's got the same chip. It's got the same megapixels on cameras, Then the only thing that has changed is that it's got into 5
Okay.
telephoto camera. So just that, and so basically that they're trying to push this two phones into the professional market of filmmaking and photography and all
So
that.
I think we can watch the next moon landing from our iPhone very soon.
Yeah. Just zoom in, keep going, watch the Chandrayaan drone. Oh my god. By the way, if you guys want to learn more about Chandrayaan, please go, please check it out on the Podcast Bros channel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I also wanted to raise this, discussion, like Apple dominating the professional market, not only in terms of cameras, but also in terms of productivity, because MacBook Pros are in the professional market, and they made the Pro version just for the professional use, right? And they've got the big CPUs as well, right?
The cheese graters?
Yeah, the
you're talking
cheese
about?
graters,
Yeah.
yes. And now you have the cameras in professional mode. What do you think about that? Any competitions in professional market?
Yeah, I think that it's the start of trying to enter the professional market segment.
Yeah, basically just a simpler version of what I said. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's convenient for lower budget people, I think, because I don't know very well the prices of the different like DSLRs that you can get nowadays and all that. So I don't know if it would be preferable to have an iPhone than the DSLR or something like that, because the iPhone already comes with an added storage, whereas in the DSLR maybe you need to keep having like multiple storage places and all that. I don't know the complications. But I think iPhone is making a stride in terms of the professional market entry with the cameras,
Yeah. But then we're not talking about high-end professionals.
Obviously, like Christopher Nolan won't be shooting his movies with iPhones, but
Exactly. But then any other person, like
common
interns.
Christopher
I mean, it shoots 4K, so that's the highest like we can go right now. We can go 8K, but then like 4K is possible everywhere. So that means like if for lower end people that do not have the budget to buy high-end DSLRs or like high-end camera like Red or something like that, of course I think.
I
iPhone
have
would
seen
be
like a lot of videos where content creators are like genuinely shooting with iPhones and just like recording with the phones, not iPhones but with the phones.
So interesting.
So then, what do you guys think? iPhone 15, iPhone 15 Plus, iPhone 15 Pro, or iPhone 15 Pro Max? What would you guys recommend, buy, or
I think.
I mean,
go on.
well, if the budget is not an issue, so obviously iPhone Pro or like Pro
15
Max,
Pro
right?
Max,
Depending on what size you want. But I mean, it's not that impressive change from the last year, I would say.
So given your answer, the question comes, does size matter?
I mean,
You're thinking about it a lot, almost like
I want to give one answer, but I don't want to. So
Oh my days.
now here, if we're talking about screen size, then yes, it does matter. But I would just say I think 6.1 is good enough for me. I don't want my phones too big.
Yeah. And Ashwal, you with your small hands, what were you saying?
Yeah, I would obviously, if you're the kind of person who wants to get Apple every year, go for the Pro Max. If you don't have a budget problem. But if you do want an iPhone 15, but then if you just want to, pick one, I would say depending on the budget and everything, value for money, 15, the baseline 15, right?
If you're talking about that, then value for the money and everything, iPhone 14 Pro.
Oh yeah, that is true. But then I'm talking like if you want a new one, right? You have the good camera. You just don't have the 3 lenses. But then you have a good camera. You have good amounts of. You have a good chip, right? And how much ever they claim the percentage of however fast the A17 is, A16 still works. It will work for 3 to 4 years, right? You've got a good camera. You've got basically the looks and everything the Pro models have.
I just realized.
I think iPhone 15.
Yeah. Okay, I just realized something that I think later on, like once these because initially iPhone started with 1 camera, right? Then 2, and then now 3. So maybe in few years they'll have like 4. I don't know.
There is an Android phone with 6 cameras in it.
Yeah. So so 6 cameras, right? Do you think like in future then there'll be a time when then they'll be bringing back 1 camera? That's gonna be the new trend again.
Oh yeah. But then the whole back of the phone would be 1 camera.
Yeah, like a camera lens,
It could be, I don't know, but then like camera lens are sensitive, so like you have to cover it, right? That's why we cover the DSLR. So then
So maybe
that
there will be like
complication
screen
might
like
enter the
covering up,
screen,
like and when you open the camera and then
yeah. So and then the cases that might come with it, that might be different again, and then the accessories game that you were talking about iPhones. Right?
imagine
Like
in the
Apple-
future.
Yeah.
Imagine in the future, like you drop, for example, you drop a phone and then it's like airbags, air cushions. Automatically, the phones with air cushions.
I remember having this exact same conversation last year when we were doing the podcast. Exact same conversation. Yes, exactly.
How cool would that be? Like,
So you're really married to this idea, right? Tim Cook, please.
No,
Come back,
he's
my
not
friend.
gonna do it because he's gonna get. He's earning like freaking $46 billion just by.
I mean-
oh, sorry, $51 billion
Yeah.
by services.
Repairs.
Yeah, and all these things. $56
I mean,
billion.
Apple did give a shout out to MKBHD this
Oh,
year.
yeah,
so
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
next Apple event, you would
Maybe
get the
Gaurav,
shout
you
out.
could be there.
Yes.
Yeah, the podcast bros. Gaurav can now.
He stated that he wanted airbags in the iPhone.
Nah, but it would be
And
cool.
we have been able to. iPhone 16 Pro Max, shoot! All right. Anything else, you guys? Okay. So, Ashwal, you would recommend the iPhone 15. Gaurav, would you recommend anything?
I think so like I said, I feel iPhone 15 Pro would be a good one. I think.
yeah.
What
You're
about
getting
yours?
everything all in one phone.
Given listening to the price ranges, and then we are also doing direct conversion from dollars to Nepalese rupees, right? So, and then the middlemen that bring it here, they might have their own charges that comes along with it as well. So the prices might go a little bit more up. So my recommendation would be, look, if you really are in constraint of budget, then maybe go for an Android.
No, I mean, see,
No, but if I have
outside
to
the
recommend-
box.
But yeah, but if I have to recommend something from over here, I think if you want luxury and if you want some like status that comes along with it, go for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But then if you just want something that
Did you just say 14?
iPhone 15,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Pro Max. But then the other alternative would definitely be iPhone 15 or iPhone 15 Plus, depending on if size matter to you. So,
yeah.
so yeah.
But my overall impression on this Apple event was no, I did
Yeah.
not have any
Yeah.
like big surprises or big what moment, like you know.
But-
it wasn't there. It was just basic things.
So no big
added up.
moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
It was like yeah.
That's like the O is getting shorter every year. I think because Apple
Yeah.
is not doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Eventually, it'll just turn into a full stop.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think last year we had an O moment with the Vision Pro's introduction.
Okay,
yeah,
surprisingly, okay, let me get into this. Surprisingly, you know, now that we're talking about like Apple being so expensive and everything, in Nepal, talking about Nepal's Apple market share, it's increasing. Even though the economy is not doing they claim
Well,
that the economy
yeah,
is not doing well, still like it's increasing.
So, what was the percentage of market share that
So
Apple controls in Nepal then?
okay, Apple percentage is 11.83%, right now.
So basically,
So it's-
some context is that this is the percentage of people that buy iPhones in Nepal, right?
Yeah. So the first one is the Xiaomi. What is it?
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi 26%, and then there's
Xiaomi.
Samsung.
That's how the Chinese
20
people say it, by the way.
Xiaomi.
Please edit that out. Oh my
Yes.
days, that was so off the cuff.
So first is Xiaomi with 26%.
Yeah.
Then Samsung, obviously. Also because Samsung has cheaper, lower end products as
Yeah.
like phones as well. So
They-
I think that's a plus point as well. And then Apple with 11%. And then Oppo 7% and all these brands.
It's kind of surprising, isn't it? That it's still 11 point some percentage
Yeah.
of people.
No, I thought Samsung. No, what's surprising to me is I thought Samsung would be leading in that, but then it's surprisingly Xiaomi.
But it's cheaper.
Yeah,
Xiaomi.
like
And
it
then,
is true. That is true.
I think Xiaomi, I saw this, they have amazing camera quality and all this,
Yeah, yeah,
zooming
yeah.
and everything.
The best phone on the market in general, if I would have gotten a chance to pick the best one out of the bunch, I would go for a Huawei Mate 60 right now. I think Mate 60 is the one, right? But they don't have any Snapdragon or they don't have the Android or iOS in them. So it's the Chinese software, right? But otherwise, these Huawei phones, bro, when we visited China and we were seeing almost everyone has a Huawei, right? One. And then these are killer phones, super if they would be able to sell this in the normal world as well, then these would compete with some of the best ones. Even iPhone would struggle to compete with them, you know.
Because not everyone has the budget to buy an iPhone. I mean, and plus one thing is, even though even though there's iPhone 15 is lower end, still nearly 1 lakh Nepali rupee.
Yes, it
That's
is.
not a lower end for
The general public.
Yeah,
general
yeah.
public.
Yes.
And then same this Xiaomi.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
10,000, 15,000. See, even with Samsung, there are a lot of phones, Samsung phones with
Yeah, yeah,
10,000, 15,000, 20,000 range.
So what we all are saying is Android is better in terms of budgeting.
In terms of budgeting,
Yeah.
and the quality you get with that budget, I think obviously Android is better.
Value for money.
Value for money, but I mean, we are Apple product consumers, so
No, I don't know. Next year, I'm thinking of changing my phone, and I think I'll jump into the Android again because I have done this previously as well. I'll use Android for a few years, then I'll use Apple for a few
which
years.
phone are you using currently?
iPhone, yeah.
iPhone what?
I don't want to specify.
iPhone. I'm guessing iPhone 14 Pro Max. So that will be for auction next year, guys. So
I thought this was supposed to be confidential, dang. Oh my God, everyone knows now.
we'll do live auction here.
Yeah. All right.
1,000 rupees.
So that's pretty much it. Anything else you guys want to add to the topic of the Apple event? Got it right
Again,
finally.
not very, not that
Not very keen.
Yeah, not that surprising and all that. But it was a good event, and it's also good to be back
Yeah.
shooting
My
an episode now.
My suggestion for Apple would be they should, I think if they can, they should start making cheaper, lower end products as well, with features.
Okay, so that you bring up a very interesting point, right? They introduced the X,
Oh yeah, there was SE. Yeah.
the SE variant of phones, right?
What happened to that?
But they didn't announce anyone this year.
Maybe.
No, yeah, they did not announce anyone this year.
I wonder why.
But I also realized one thing, because I said they should start looking for cheaper end as well. But I think, what if the main motto of this Apple is just luxury kind of thing, the quality, the technology,
status symbol,
symbol, status symbol as well. So maybe they will not want to do it. And I mean, obviously they are $1 trillion market share, so they don't care.
Yeah, I think they don't get. Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much it on the Apple event front. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to check some of the other episodes out, and if you guys want to check out some of our first videos, because it's been a year that we've been doing this now, go ahead and check it out. Give us some love there as well.
And thank you to the viewers and the
Subscribers.
180 something subscribers.
Yeah, we haven't
now.
been doing regular, we were out and about for a long time as well, but now we are trying to do it regularly. So don't worry, you'll see
weekly
us.
updates.
We won't give you a reason to miss us now.
No.
We'll be there every week.
Heartthrobs. Yes. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and peace.